For several months now, the entire world has had the opportunity to observe the way that the United States has been continuing to deliberately foment tensions around the friendly nation of Venezuela under the pretext of combating drug trafficking and the terrorist threat. It is illegally destroying, at the same time, the civilian vessels in the Caribbean Sea. Their attempts to convince us all of the mendacious view that a decision of the US authorities alone is enough in order to transform a sovereign state into a criminal enterprise, any act of force against which can now be called a law enforcement operation and the defense of national interests. And we see no point in delving on the absurd nature of the US pseudo-legal methods. The statement of the US President on the 16th of December does not need any additional interpretation. This is a direct claim on the natural wealth and the soil of another state and an open, if not the state, a flagrant bringing to bear of military, political, and economic pressure. This intervention, which is unfolding, can become a template for future acts of force against Latin American states.
The US actions and rhetoric have led to continued tensions in the region, raising serious concerns among regional countries and the international community. The UN Charter establishes the fundamental principles governing international relations, including sovereignty, equality, and not interference in internal affairs and peaceful settlement of disputes. They constitute the cornerstone of international rule of law and are crucial for maintaining world peace and security. The US actions seriously infringe upon other countries' sovereignty, security, and the legitimate rights and interests gravely violate the UN Charter and the international law, and have threatened peace and security in Latin America and the Caribbean. We call on the United States to hear the call of the international community, immediately halt relevant actions and avoid further escalation of tensions. We urge the United States to uphold the navigation safety of regional countries and the freedom and rights they enjoy under international law, to conduct normal law enforcement and judicial cooperation and our bilateral and multilateral legal frameworks, to lift illicit unilateral sanctions and to do more to promote peace, stability, and development in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Let me begin by stating and reiterating the United States does not recognize Nicolas Maduro or his cronies as the legitimate government of Venezuela. Nicolas Maduro is a fugitive from American justice and the head of the foreign terrorist organization Cartel de los Soles. The United States will impose and enforce sanctions to the maximum extent to deprive Maduro of the resources he uses to fund Cartel de los Soles, which the United States has designated as a foreign terrorist organization along with Tren de Aragua. Important to this council meeting today, this includes profits from the sale of oil used to finance these cartels. The reality of the situation is that sanctioned oil tankers operate as the primary economic lifeline for Maduro and his illegitimate regime. The sanctioned tankers also fund the narco-terrorist group Cartel de los Soles. Maduro's ability to sell Venezuela's oil enables his fraudulent claim to power and his narco-terrorist activities. The people of Venezuela, frankly, deserve better. These people who have suffered under Maduro's socialist dictatorship.
The United States government, the aggressor, requires its propaganda apparatus to present it to the world as the victim in order to start an armed conflict. We denounce this dangerous manipulation and assure the world that we will not lose our composure. We will not lose our composure in defending the peace of our nation. We repeat, the threat is not Venezuela. The threat is the United States government. We are facing a massive violation of the entire international legal framework. This is a grotesque offense that violates every civilized norm. The United States government is currently imposing chaos and destruction on international relations, just as the evil actors who caused the Second World War did. This Security Council loses its meaning if the United States government persists with its devastating proposal. No one is safe. No one. There are no principles to govern our countries and our peoples. Hence the importance of this body being able to fully comply with its mandate, and to that end we demand an explicit condemnation of this ongoing aggression. From extrajudicial executions to acts of piracy. We also demand that it take the necessary measures to ensure that the United States government withdraws its military forces, ends the use of force and lifts the unilateral blockade it has imposed on our country. Finally, we demand that a process of accountability be initiated to punish these acts and prevent their recurrence. Let it be clear once and for all that there is no war in the Caribbean, there is no international armed conflict. Nor is there a non-international armed conflict. It is therefore absurd for the United States government to attempt to justify its actions by applying the rules of the law of war.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that we will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.